Okay, today we're going to tackle a word that, let's be honest, sounds a little dusty. The word is idolatry. But what if I told you that its real meaning has less to do with ancient history and way more to do with our lives right here, right now? Let's dig in and see what this old word really means for us today.
So when I say the word idol, what's the first thing that pops into your head? If you're like most of us, you're probably picturing, a golden calf or some ancient stone statue. But as we're about to see, that's really just scratching the surface.
Yeah, the reality is the biblical idea of an idol is so much bigger, so much more personal than just a physical object. It's an idea that really challenges us to look inward at our own hearts and what we truly prioritize.
So to really get a handle on this, we've got to go straight to the source and see how the Bible actually defines it. And you'll find the definition is surprisingly simple, but at the same time, wow, is it challenging.
Okay, here it is. This is the core of it. An idol is anything, and I mean anything, that takes God's rightful place in our lives. It's whatever gets our ultimate allegiance, our deepest trust. To put it another way, it's the foundation we're actually building our life on.
The Bible kind of breaks idolatry down into three main categories. First, you have the classic one, right? The man-made statues. Second is the worship of other spiritual beings or false gods. But it's this third category that really brings it all into our world today. Anything we prioritize over God. And that list can include some very, very modern things.
And when it comes to those physical, man-made idols, the Bible does not hold back. This verse from Psalm 115 gives you this powerful picture of how lifeless and powerless these objects are. They can't hear you, they can't see you, they definitely can't help you. The whole point is they're just empty promises.
So, these warnings against idolatry are some of the oldest and most serious in all of Scripture. But what's so fascinating is that while the form of the idol might change over time, the underlying truth, the principle behind the warning, that stays exactly the same.
I mean, you can see how important this is right from the get-go. The very first two of the 10 Commandments deal directly with this. You shall have no other gods before me, and you shall not make for yourself a carved image. This isn't just some minor suggestion. It's presented as the absolute foundation for a relationship with God.
Now, as we fast forward into the New Testament, you see this really crucial shift in focus. While the Old Testament often talks about the external act, like literally bowing to a statue, the New Testament turns that spotlight inward. It starts talking about the idols of the heart, our desires, our ambitions, our greed.
And this verse right here makes it absolutely impossible to miss. The Apostle Paul just comes right out and equates covetousness, that relentless burning desire for more, with the act of idolatry. And that's a game changer, right? It means an idol doesn't have to be something you bow down to, it can be something you're just constantly chasing after.
So this brings us to the really practical part of all this. If idolatry is more about our hearts than our hands, then how in the world do we spot it in our own lives? How do we identify these modern internal idols?
Well, the only way to do it is through some honest self-reflection. It means we have to be willing to take a hard look in the mirror and ask some pretty direct questions about what truly drives us and where our deepest loyalties actually lie.
It all comes down to a few diagnostic questions. So here's the first one. When your mind is free, when it can just wander, where does it go? What subject, what person, what goal takes up most of your mental real estate?
Then, think about this. When life gets stressful, where do you run for a sense of security and comfort? Is it your bank account? Your job title? Maybe your reputation?
And how about fear? What's the one thing that, if you lost it, you feel like your whole world would just crumble? Whatever that is, it points directly to what you're ultimately trusting in.
Next, here's a practical one. Take an honest look at your calendar and your bank statement. What consumes the best of your passion, your energy, and your resources? Those things don't lie.
And finally, what do you really rely on for happiness and fulfillment? The answers to these questions start to show us what we truly believe we need to have or be or do just to feel whole.
When you put it all together, all of these questions are really just asking one single thing. Who or what is sitting on the throne of your life? It's such a powerful metaphor for our ultimate allegiance, isn't it?
And so, this is the takeaway. The biblical message on idolatry was never just about ancient statues. It is a timeless challenge to examine our own hearts, our own motivations. And it leaves every single one of us with a huge question to consider.
What are we truly worshiping?
Thanks for watching. Visit our website, www.christthelivingtruth.com, to learn more.